Many years ago, there were 5 sulfur atoms who shared a horrible experience. This is their story. For 4 of them, their journey begins here, as dihydrogen sulfide in a volcano.
It is cold underground, but then it starts to get hotter, and I start to rise and rise and rise, and then all of a sudden, boom! I explode out of the volcano, and I am in the air, floating around in the air.
Though many sulfur atoms begin in volcanoes, an increasingly greater amount, up to 1/3, are coming from factories burning fossil fuels.
My job is to pump sulfur into the air.
The following clip has been modified since our next guest wishes to remain unidentified.
I was on the ground, just with my family. We were all having a good time there, doing some fossil fuels like coal, what have you. And then one day there was something weird, light, color, and then all of a sudden we were ripped from the home we'd been in for 300 million years. Oh, it was so sad. I liked that place. I had a good dance pad going. But anyway, so we were ripped out and brought to this strange metal facility, and where they were doing weird things with us. They were lighting us on fire. All of a sudden, I was burning. The heat was so intense. I just couldn't bear it. And then I evaporated, became one with the air. And I started floating upwards. Up and up and up. And that's when it happened. As the winds separated me and my family, that was the last time I ever saw them. I'll never see my son again.
Me and my brothers in the air began to form and condense into clouds.
Once in the atmosphere, sulfur bonds with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. However, sulfur only stays in the atmosphere for 1 day before precipitating out as sulfuric acid or acid rain.
The clouds then rained down onto the below Earth. The plants then, using the water, absorb us into them. But the excess brothers who did not make it to the plants run off into the surrounding ocean.
It is here in the ocean where sulfur, after having fallen as acid rain, poses some of its most dangerous effects. By lowering the pH of the water, sulfuric acid can cause harm or even death to marine life. Sulfur is also stored within organisms such as fish. Other sulfur is sent back to the atmosphere via sea spray.
We had been on the ocean for 7 years when me and my brothers began to slowly close in on each other. We solidified into a large, solid rock that took on the color of gold, and we floated and polluted the bottom of the ocean floor.
It is in rocks such as pyrite, fool's gold, that the majority of Earth's sulfur is stored.
After being in the ocean, we were sucked into the ground, and we were condensed and compressed over a period of 300 million years. Now, this is a long time for us, but we were turned into fossil fuels that were later used in everyday industrial uses.
Although this sulfur made his way through the ocean, that's not the path that all sulfur takes.
Once we got into the air, we were all huddled, and suddenly we started being close to each other because we were so far apart. And then suddenly we were just close again, and that's how we were. And then we were falling or something. It felt like we were falling a lot. And then everything was very dark, and there was dirt everywhere. There was just dirt everywhere. Everywhere I looked, dirt. I missed falling at that point. I hated the dirt. There was just so much dirt. There was so much dirt.
Once in the ground, bacteria metabolize sulfuric compounds to change them, often turning pure sulfur and sulfates into sulfuric acid or dihydrogen sulfide.
After being consumed by all of the lovely organisms, they die, and my brothers and I are released in the form of beautiful sulfur gases and we re-enter the atmosphere in mass amounts because breakdown of organic matter causes us to be released into the air again.
And so, the sulfur released from the microorganisms is sent back into the atmosphere, and the cycle continues.
Oh, and one more thing.